Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And wipe the pixie dust out of your eyes. I think the Disney situation is worse than we thought.
It is. And everybody's going to scream about, no, you're lying. No, we are not lying. It's not good.
It's not good. We covered it yesterday. We've actually been covering it pretty much every day because it's completely unprecedented.
You can go to the piratesandprincesses.net blog and find a lot more.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about some developments today that again seem to indicate that Disney is preparing to shut the parks down for longer than the 2 weeks they said they were going to.
Yes, and everybody's going to be like, it's just 2 weeks. No, guys, I'm telling you, insiders have been saying and saying and saying. I've been hearing people come to us and saying and saying and saying. They're expecting at least through April.
Possibly May.
Yeah, but at least May. April. At least a month.
Yeah, again, don't hold us to it. We don't know. I don't think Disney knows. Again, we're in uncharted territory here. Disney has never shut down its parks this long. We don't know what to expect. But we're going to talk about some of the developments that came up today. Hey, if you guys have not subscribed, give us a sub.
Yep.
Make sure that you check the YouTube page, because if we do more videos than 2 or 3 a day, which we might do because this situation is developing, you might not get notifications. I think YouTube only sends out 2 or 3 notifications a day.
So keep checking back, or you're going to put it on Twitter. So
yeah, follow us on Twitter at @RealClownFishTV for updates. When we post new videos, it goes to Twitter as well. There's a lot to talk about. This is going to have a massive, massive impact on the entire entertainment industry, but Disney is going to be affected more than most.
Yeah.
Because a good chunk of their revenue comes from the theme parks, and this is the worst case scenario for them. They've never had to shut down all of their theme parks.
Best case scenario is 2 weeks. We're hearing it's going to be a lot longer.
Yeah, so yesterday, of course, we talked about how they were sending home the college program kids. Now, you said today they're actually going to let them ride all the rides before they go?
They have lifted the ban. They have a ban for employees of certain attractions and things because they want to keep the crowds down. Well, Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, I think, had a ban for it, and they're waiving it so that these kids can get to do it before they have to leave.
Yeah, because we don't know when they're going to be back, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Well, these ones are not coming back.
They're not.
They're getting a completion, certificate. I think May is when they said that the next group was scheduled to come in. So those people might still come in May, but
yeah, I think it's going to be longer than 2 weeks. If it was just going to be 2 weeks, they'd be like, guys, just hang out.
Yeah.
But it's not just them. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. There are other employees that are being let go entirely after 15, 20, 30 years. Yeah, at Epcot. That seems to indicate that Disney thinks this is going to be a very long-term problem. And we have some other theories about that. But Bob Iger, and we got to talk about this.
You know what? Yeah, let me talk about this for a minute. Isn't it a little weird, guys, that before Iger was no longer CEO, he was the one, when he was CEO, he was the one always making these announcements, making the calls. You always hear Bob Iger, Bob Iger. You never heard the chairman of the board. It was always Bob Iger. Now, he steps down and goes to the chairman of the board. We got Chapek in charge as CEO, yet Bob Iger is the one. Bob Iger talked to the mayor, the governor. Bob Iger is making statements. Bob Iger this, Bob Iger that. What about Chapek? Chapek's the CEO now. How come it's still Bob Iger?
Because Chapek is not prepared for this. This is bad. Iger put this statement out yesterday. People are like, oh, he's telling everybody to be positive. No, this sounds dire. This is him putting on a brave face. It sounds like a president addressing the nation after we've been invaded.
This is him just saying, here's, in a calm way, here's what to expect kind of thing.
Right. These are hard, anxiety-provoking times. Remaining connected to friends and loved ones is vital. We owe it to each other to act cautious, adhere to guidelines, care for one another, maintain hope and resolve. And then he adds, we've been through a lot over the years. We've always bounced back. Stay strong, stay healthy.
Yeah, be strong, stay healthy. Yeah, the thing is, it sounds to me like he's basically like, hey guys, it makes sense. We want everybody to stay strong and stay healthy and to follow the guidelines, because if you follow the guidelines, we'll get through this faster. So
it does sound almost like a president or a military general saying, like, stay safe out there, guys. We're going off the air. It's, it feels like they're bunkering down for more than 2 weeks.
We know they are, because, none of this makes sense. Like, they were having these big articles about how Disneyland and Walt Disney World are donating all of this food to the food banks, local food banks and stuff, which is good, but it's only closed for 2 weeks. A lot of that stuff wouldn't need to be donated. But it's a tax write-off for them that they can recoup costs from.
Yeah, but that means they have to literally restock everything. Now, it says surplus, but the Disney Parks blog has been very, very quiet. I don't even think they know what's going on.
No, it's really funny. I knew something was up even before Disneyland got announced for closure because the Parks blog wasn't putting up anything. And they hadn't at that point for more than a day, or at least a day. And I knew something was up because they put several stories per day up, guys. Weekends are slower, but they still put stuff up. And there was nothing. So I was already watching because I knew something was coming.
Yeah, and I think some of the blogs out there had kind of a heads up, but I mean, a lot of cast members, they couldn't see it coming. I mean, we were going to go to Disney World for the opening of Mickey and Minnie's, and we did because you weren't feeling well at the time, not because of that thing we can't talk about, but you just weren't feeling that well, and we skipped it. And it's a damn good thing we did, because last night, that thing we can't talk about, turns out that a TSA agent at MCO at Orlando International Airport tested positive. And this is kind of being kept on the down low. They're like, oh, we're cleaning the stations, whatever. That person could have had contact with thousands of people in and out of Orlando, in the parks. We don't know how bad it's actually going to get. And I think Disney's even like, oh my God. You know?
Yeah, our friend Lauren sent it over to us before it was even like on mainstream about it and talked about what happened. You to cover it more.
Well, I don't want to say its name because it's the Voldemort disease. But yeah, it was verified. It was last night. It was on WFTV 9. So that means that, potentially, anybody coming into or out of Orlando might have been exposed to it, and people might be taking home a little souvenir in addition to the mouse ears.
Yeah, it's very possible, and that this is a problem. I mean, it's hard to say because we don't know how far it spreads, how fast. We do know that it is being blown out of proportion with the media. We do know that. Yeah, but it's not like just hand sanitized either, guys. I mean, the truth lies in the middle, which I keep saying. Yeah. I got into a fight with somebody on Facebook because I dared post a meme that said, I'm not worried for myself because I know I'm probably okay. I'm worried for people that are high risk. So, just be extra careful so you don't accidentally infect them. Right. Oh my God, this woman who I know, and I almost didn't post it because I knew she'd say something, come down my throat about I was a fearmonger. And I'm a terrible person, to which I said, I have lots of friends all over the globe, and it's not just because, well, it's not here locally. Do you travel? Yeah, I do, actually. It's out here. Do you have friends on a place? Yeah, I do. It's a global thing. Social media works that way, and I have lots of friends all over the world. So when I posted it, it was going to lots of people, not just locally. And I said that, to which I got told that I have never lived as much life as she has lived, and I have not nearly as traveled. This is one of those people that no matter what you say, they know more than you, and you're always wrong and they're always right. She tried to argue with me about things. I'm not even going to mention what they were, but they were ridiculous. I know for a fact I was right on.
Facebook's awful.
But anyway, so I blocked her.
Well, then, oddly enough, 2 or 3 hours later, they shut all the schools in Pennsylvania
right after that, they shut all the schools in PA down as a precaution, and
doesn't affect us at all. Right?
And over on the other side of the state where it's really bad, they have things like YMCA's and gyms and hair salons and stuff are having stricter guidelines or are being told to close down because they're trying to stop the spread. All I did was post a meme that said, "Hey, I'm not really worried about me because I know I'll be okay, and if I get it, but I'm worried about the elderly who might get it." That's all I said.
Oh, geez. So it doesn't take much. People are just social media. This is another thing for people to fight over. So we're talking about because people are like, why is the Disney stock actually staying up?
Oh, I know why.
Well, yeah. You want to talk about
maybe my reasoning why they're making the announcements small. Hey, look, guys. Here's what's happening. This is our opinion, but I'm pretty sure we're right about this. We are hearing from people. They are going to close the Disney hotels. They are going to close the shopping. Everybody's down on them because how dare they? They're urging them to shut down. They're not shutting down. Disneyland Paris announced after the guests were gone they were closing. I think we're going to be getting the same announcements from Walt Disney World, Disneyland. I think there's a lot of people, especially Walt Disney World, so they have to figure ways to get people to safety first. But I expect them to be coming. I'm hearing from people who would know it's coming. So, Disney doesn't want to let you know all this stuff all at once, because this is going to, and if it's closed longer than 2 weeks, that's going to be a whole other set of problems, because they have to run Disney events in April and a bunch of other stuff. So, if you've noticed, you're getting bad news, sporadically. So, people are like, why don't they just tell everybody up front so they can be done with it? There's a couple reasons here. One, Disney stocks. Yep. If they announce everything at once, it's just going to implode. But if they do it like bad announcement, it goes down a bit, then it has time to come up. A bad announcement, it goes down a bit, has time to come up. It's not as big of an impact as it just suddenly bottoms out.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's like, oh, here's a catastrophic announcement, but hey, we're bringing you Frozen 2 sooner on Disney Plus, so we'll offset again. Disney's culture is you always offset the bad with something good, even if the something good
Mm-hmm.
is nothing compared to the bad.
Right. And I think the second reason is logistics, because what's going to happen is if they announce all the closures for longer than 2 weeks, the phones are going to be locked, because they're already having trouble to send people who think it's 2 weeks. If you announce it's going to be longer and the hotels are going to close and all this other stuff, it's going to bring down so many people onto the call centers, and I don't think they can handle it. So it's easier to announce small things like little by little than it is to have one big boom and then you don't have to handle it. Now, we could be wrong and this could not happen at all. The best case scenario is 2 weeks, but we're hearing from many, many, many cast members and people who would know that they're likely looking at more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's some supporting evidence, and we were kind of like at first, even when they announced it was going to be 2 weeks. Well, one, Disney Cruise Line, they just extended through the middle of April.
There's me. Face reveal!
Through the middle of April, they've just extended through the middle of it. It's not a big deal, but we're on Twitter. Look, we're on Twitter. There's Geeky.
Oh, my face, yeah.
There's me. Not a big deal.
But look, unexpected face reveal.
There we go.
There you go. There I am.
Doesn't she look cute with the mouse ears?
I look tired. I have big bags under my eyes.
You were tired that
my
day.
allergies, and I was so tired. Anyway.
Hopefully it's just allergies. Anyway, so the cruise ships, the middle of the month, right? They and again, the original announcement was through the end of March. Now they're like middle of the month. Now people were putting up photos of the restaurants on the Disney Cruise Line before they made the announcement, and there was hardly anybody in them. So the bookings were already down. People were already like, I am not going on a cruise ship. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what brand of cruise ship it is. Now, the other cruise lines are closing down for at least 2 months.
Right, but the Disney's is April 12th is the date they're saying it's closed till.
Yeah.
For now.
Now, this is where we put the tinfoil mouse ears on.
Yeah, this is you. And at first I was like, no, that's ridiculous. And now I'm starting to be like, well, wait a minute. Maybe there's some merit to this. It is a theory, and it's not even a rumor. I wouldn't even call it a rumor. I'd call it a theory.
So here's the thing. They're getting rid of entertainment in World Showcase that has been there for decades. We've got the drummers.
And the British Revolution. These guys have been there for like 11,000 shows.
Something like that.
These guys have been here 25 years.
France, didn't they just get rid of...
No, it wasn't France.
Italy.
It was Italy. It was Sergio, however you say it. The juggler guy. He's been there 15 years. He basically said it's got fired. So we're not talking like, they're just pausing them. No, they are ending the contracts, ending the shows. Done. Boom.
Yeah, they're done. We had a fantastic 25... This sounds very final. We had a fantastic 25-year run on the Pagoda stage. One of my favorite acts, actually, in Epcot. Working with some of the best managers and tech team on property. If they were closing down for 2 weeks or even a month, they would keep them around.
Right. But they're not.
They live in Orlando. They would stay.
I'm assuming they're living in Orlando. They've been there 25 years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, this isn't like they're in the college program or something. The culture program,
because I guess a lot of people in the culture exchange program, they're actually being told. At first, we were hearing they had to go too, but now they're being told they can stay.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a matter of how they're going to get them all out of there. So I think in their case, they can leave if they want, they can stay if they want, but they'll get a certificate completion either way.
British Revolution. Now, this one's not completely shocking because they were talking about, Mary Poppins ride, that whole area. They were talking about, gutting it and turning it into Mary Poppins. But
I think they were just going to move them because sometimes, sometimes they perform over behind Rose and Crown.
Oh, they do. Yeah. So, look, guys, I'm going to tell you, this is my tinfoil mouse ears theory. Are you ready? Are you sitting down?
Now, again, it's a theory.
It's a theory.
Before you guys all like, oh my God. It is a theory. And you know what? At first I was like, oh my God, too. And then I heard the more this is happening, the more I'm like, well, wait a minute. This might be, have a grain of truth to it.
If this shutdown goes for more than a month or two, Disney might, they're obviously going to have to cut corners. They're going to have to cut costs. Epcot is in shambles right now because they're doing so much to renovate it. Is it possible that to save money, they would just shut Epcot down for a year or two, finish all the stuff, and then open it back up again?
See, the only thing that would make me think otherwise is the Ratatouille attraction. Because they're really banking on that opening this summer. But they'd have a lot more free time. They have a lot more time to go slower. And the fact that, they have the money to do that. Those are my two concerns against the theory, because they do, even if they have it open and it's under construction heavily, they still get a lot of people coming in for the festival.
Food and wine festival.
But they also have all the overhead of the employees and stuff. And right now they have all that food and wine festival, or Flower and Garden Festival right now. They have all the Flower and Garden Festival merchandise and stuff. The annual pass holder, some of the annual pass holder stuff just came in today.
Yeah, I mean,
so I don't know if that's but it is a compelling, argument.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to think we don't know what's going to happen. That's the thing. We don't know what's going to happen. This is unprecedented.
Well, they could sell it all on Shop Disney.
Yeah, they could sell it on Shop Disney. They could do like those food kits that you said, like the Blue Apron. They could do like Disney boxes with Chef Remy and sell little food kits, and you can make the stuff at home.
There you go. Don't give them ideas.
They would. I mean, I don't know. This might not be the Disney apocalypse, but there's going to be a definite difference between Disney before that thing we can't talk about and Disney after.
Right. Oh, 100%. But I mean, it is an interesting theory. And at first I was like, oh, you're so full of crap. That's funny. Ha ha ha. And then they started canceling all the acts that had been there for years. And I'm like,
that's not
what?
A good sign.
And they're getting rid of a lot of people a lot of the workforce that's being sent away is Epcot's. So I'm like, wait, maybe. So I don't know. There might be a little bit of truth to that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see that. Like I said, that's not even a rumor. That's just a tinfoil mouse theory that Kneon had. But he has a compelling argument. But I do know they're canceling these shows that have been there for years. And if it does close for more than 2 weeks, no matter what the park is, they could take the opportunity, as we said before, to use it for maintenance.
Yeah, I mean, that's a best case scenario because there's a lot of stuff.
Money for me?
Well, that's it. Everybody's like, oh, good, they can take all this downtime to fix everything. And like that's great, assuming Disney's going to have the money to do that.
And that they're allowed to have the crews in there to work on it.
Right. I mean, that would be great to actually have Disney World or Disneyland reopen in another month or two, if it's that long, and then have everything like brand spanking new.
That could be at Christmas, though. I mean, if it did, that'd be like Easter or Christmas in some ways. But we just hate Disney, so why would we be excited?
Yeah, we hate it. But here's the thing: like Disney, every day the parks are down. Just Walt Disney World, conservatively speaking, they're losing $15 to $20 million in revenue. Just Walt Disney World per day.
Yes,
that's not including all the other stuff. That's just the parks, as far as I understand it. That's not including Disneyland. That's not including the cruise lines. That's not including, people underestimating how much revenue they make because they keep jacking up the prices.
Right.
The theme parks bankroll everything else in the Walt Disney Company. I can't stress to you how bad this is.
It's really important.
And what's going to happen, because Disney's never prepared for this. Now, they did have cash reserves. I don't think they have
some, but not much.
Not much. Some people said 2 months. I think that was before they bought Fox. Because they had like 35 billion in cash, and they gave almost all of it to Rupert Murdoch, and then they had to go borrow another $35 billion, and now they're $50 billion in debt. I don't think they have, billions of dollars in free cash just hanging out that they can use to keep the park shut for 3 months.
And right now, we do know the cast members are going to be paid through the end of March. We don't know what's going to happen after that.
Is that why they're not telling people what the actual plan is? Because, well, one, they don't really know. But the fact that it's at the airport now is not a good sign because they could potentially just quarantine Orlando, and that kills the travel industry. But two, they don't want people to panic and just go find other jobs because if they tell them, hey guys, you're going to be out of work for like 2 months, but we're only going to pay you for 2 weeks.
But I think they can get unemployment though, from what some cast members were saying. But that's if the unemployment doesn't get overwhelmed with everybody because all their offices are shutting down. So it's just a whole haystack of what ifs. The truth is the needle. We don't know what it is yet, but we know there's a lot of scenarios around it. But I can tell you one thing: I do not think 2 weeks is going to be all shut down. I am really certain of.
No, we're seeing people like, well, you can still go to Disney and go to Disney Springs.
That's coming. That shutdown. The hotels are coming. I'm hearing that.
Well, Twitter is taking them to task. They're like, how could you keep the restaurants open and keep these nightclubs open when you're not supposed to be?
Well, this is exactly what I was saying about Disneyland. This is like that article I wrote. You guys, Kneon saw it, but I didn't post it. But I had this like letter when they were saying that they were going to leave Disneyland open, but everything else had to shut down. And I was like, how the hell does hand sanitizing stations and hand washing stations equate to safety measures? And that's the same here with this. There are too many people going to cram into here for something to do. It's not safe.
No.
If it's so unsafe they have to shut the parks down, then this stuff staying open is probably not a good idea as well.
Yeah, this person says the restaurant they worked at had more than 600 people. Remember, you're not supposed to have more than 250 people. They're closing and people are desperate for something to do. I think a lot of people aren't taking it as seriously as they should. Not because it it's going to affect them badly or their kids or whatever. But if you have contact with people who already have compromised immune systems or the elderly,
underlying health conditions, etc., it could be detrimental to those people. And saying that isn't fear mongering.
No, it's not fear mongering. It's worse than.
I would have expected nothing less from that person. Anyway,
I'm saying this whole situation, whether it's panic or legit concern or whatever, is much worse than people thought it was going to be. I mean, I was making fun of Geeky because she was like, we need to hoard toilet paper.
I didn't say hoard. No, that's not fair. I didn't say that.
Well, buy more.
I
than
said we need
buy.
like a pack extra, because I said what's going to happen is, and it's not even about the virus. What's going to happen is it's going to be because the supply chains could be disrupted, and then you're going to be without. But I think it's going to be a flood of toilet paper sold at garage sales. There's a meme about that on Facebook.
Yeah,
but
people have garages.
I was just saying, because I knew people were going to react poorly.
Yep.
I was saying, let's just grab an extra pack, just be sure, because I knew, and this was before the hysteria started, and I said, I just think we should probably grab some extra hand sanitizer, and I told you that before we were supposed to go to Walt Disney World, and grab an extra pack of toilet paper, because what's going to happen is people are going to panic, mostly because of the media, and they're going to go and hoard toilet paper. And that is exactly what happened. He made fun of me.
I did.
When will he listen to me? He should have learned by now. I can call it. I'm usually right.
I did. I was like, oh, come on. People aren't going to be that ridiculous.
You.
And so we go to the stores yesterday or the day before.
We had to get rice. And it was like rice and like something else. I forget what it was.
And every shopping cart was taken. It
never seen it that busy.
Never seen it that busy, and there were just 5 packs of toilet paper left, and I grabbed 2 of them. And then we went to another store. They just put an end cap out yesterday, and I actually tweeted, I'm like, I found gold.
Yeah, we didn't buy any there. Don't you?
I'm sure it's all gone.
We already have some.
I'm sure it's all gone.
So we didn't need to buy more. I mean, we needed some anyway. So we just bought what we needed and then bought an extra one to be sure. I mean, it's not a big deal. People are flipping out. They're buying 10 packs of toilet paper. I'm like, oh my gosh, worst case scenario, use a hose. No, I'm sorry.
Use a hose?
Anyway.
No!
Or,
it's called a bidet.
Somebody had a picture of a toilet, and they had taken one of those kitchen sprayers, and they had hooked it into their toilet, and had it wrapped around so that you could spray your butt with a kitchen sprayer.
Oh, jeez.
I thought it was funny.
Anyway, it's not just Disney that's being affected, and this is where it gets really worrying, because we do have again, we know a lot of cast members, different employees, different parks. I don't know if SeaWorld is going to be able to make it through this.
Yeah, I'm worried about SeaWorld too.
SeaWorld was already not doing well. None of these parks really can afford to be down for any length of time. The one that's probably the most solvent, I would say, is Universal, because Comcast doesn't depend on the parks as much as Disney. And it's not as big of a revenue. Now, that's why they want to expand with Epic Universe and all that. But I think they probably can absorb it a little bit better than Disney. But SeaWorld has been in financial dire straits
for a while. It's been up and down for a while.
And this could be it. I mean, I'm not trying to be like doom and gloom, but
we're just being honest. I mean, that's what I'm tired of hearing. Truthfulness is not the same as doom and gloom. I'm so tired of people speaking the truth, and then everybody's like, how dare you? You know what? I'm sorry if you don't like hearing the truth. But sometimes, you need to hear the truth. And is it truthful to say that SeaWorld has been up and down a lot, mostly down? Yes, that is truthful. Is it truthful to state that if it goes longer than a couple weeks, it could really harm SeaWorld? Yes, that's truthful.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
Which is a bummer, because they've actually been seeing an uptick in attendance because they've added more thrill rides and stuff like that. Of course, maybe Disney could buy it, and it could be Disney SeaWorld.
No, they don't have the money.
They don't have the money. Oh, everybody's like, Disney's going to buy this. Disney's not going to buy jack shit. Okay, I'm telling you right now, Disney's not going to be in any position to buy anything after this for a long, long time. And they might even have to start selling off some assets just to recoup some money.
They have enough of them.
They do. But even some of these other blogs out here, this is Ziggy Knows Disney, which has information on it. And they're calling it too, because you're seeing it on the message boards. Insiders think it's gonna be a while. They think that Disney Springs and ESPN are gonna close out. What's ESPN gonna do? All the sporting events are closed.
Well, they have activities there,
Nobody cares. But they're like, when's Disney World opening? We had a bunch of people correct us. It's like, it's opening on April 1st. And they're like, right now, Disney is closed through the end of March, or at least that's what the executives are saying. The reality is nobody actually knows how long
That's the best case scenario, guys.
Disney is going to be closed for. The end of March should be looked at as a temporary date, because what's going to happen is everyone's going to panic cancel their vacations.
Right, and they're trying to avoid it. They're already, the phone lines they're already talking about are already overwhelmed. If they announce that, hey, we're canceling it for longer, I even expect them to, be canceled all of April, but then roll it out like, oh, we're canceling this week too. We're canceling that week too, just so they can just, keep the phone lines, to manageable levels.
Yeah, and look what happened with Tokyo. Tokyo shut down. They were supposed to open this weekend, and now all of a sudden they're like, well, we're closed until maybe the middle of April. We don't know when. Hong Kong and Shanghai have been closed down.
Well, Shanghai is rolling out reopening, but basically at this point in time, it was just that they were bringing back the shopping and the restaurants. So,
Paris, they're like, oh, well, they got the shopping district open, they got the restaurants open, it's all good. No, they're shutting those down too.
Paris, Disneyland Paris announced that they're closing all that as soon as the guests are gone. And now Disneyland already has the guests gone, but I'm already hearing on the download that they're waiting for the announcement for the hotels.
Yeah.
Disney World might take a little bit longer because they have a lot more people.
Yeah.
But it's coming, guys. And I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I'm hearing from a lot of people that it's coming.
Yeah, they're just, again, they don't want to panic people. They don't want to drop the stock off because people know, like, if the parks are down for any length of time, that is catastrophic.
That's why they're rolling out the bad news in increments, like you said, and offsetting it with, oh, look, here's a little bit of good news. They're probably trying to find out what kind of good news they can get to offset the bad news when they announce the hotel closure, because the stocks take a drop. So they're trying to, do it little by little so they mitigate the damage to the stocks.
Yeah, if Disney just said we're going to be closed for 2 months, their stock would drop down to like $50. Because at this point, they've already pushed...
for 2 months, they said that, yeah.
Because they've already pushed their movies back. They had a couple of big releases are pushing back.
Disney Plus shows are now on hiatus.
They're on hiatus, so they're not even making content for Disney Plus because they can't. So the best they could do is give you Frozen 2. I mean, this is
they released the Rise of Skywalker on digital 3 days earlier.
Whoop-a-dee-doo-da!
I know.
That makes up that...
I'm like, yeah, Star Wars, the fans that are left, might care.
This is really for Disney. This is a worst case scenario. Again, we don't know how bad it's going to be. I'm just bracing you guys for a lot of dismal Disney news going forward, because I think it's going to be nothing but bad news for the next couple months.
Yeah, we're going to be reporting on all this stuff both on here and at the Disney blog. Mostly on the Disney blog. If you go to piratesandprincesses.net, that is the Disney blog. That's where we put all the information as we get it. This is where all the stuff is. There's my face. So this is where we're keeping the stuff on here with the news of what's going on. They're canceling shows. Oh yeah, and by the way, People Mover was still down today. Big surprise. It's not up. So hopefully when they open again, People Mover will be working.
Yeah, maybe they'll get the damn Yeti fixed, but I doubt
They're not going to fix the Yeti. The Yeti's going to take like a year to fix. I'm sorry.
Well, if they get
Stop bringing up the Yeti.
If they shut it down that long.
They have to take the whole top of Everest off. So they're not.
Yeah.
It's not going to be fixed in like a couple months. Sorry.
Again, we have entertainers that have been there for years. I'm waiting for them to announce the French chair guy. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he's been there for a long time too.
We have the some of the different acrobats.
The acrobats in China.
They have different shows that haven't been announced yet, but I know it's a matter of time.
And when they're cutting people loose that have been there for decades, that they're bunkering down. Mm-hmm. Like it's going to be bad. This is going to be rough. And when Iger's making comments like this, we've been through a lot, we've always bounced back, be strong and stay healthy, that sounds like we're going radio silent and you guys are on your own. It sounds maybe
but you have to. I was like, really, you're on your own, not have to have news from Iger? I'm like, woo.
Well, no, it just sounds like he knows how bad this is actually going to be.
It's bad. It's going to be bad. Disneyland itself is only closed down like 4 times and never like this. So this is not good for Disney. I don't care what you say. I don't care. People come in here, you're full of crap, whatever. I don't care. Even if it is 2 weeks best case scenario, it's not a good thing.
No, it's still millions, hundreds of millions of dollars.
We're definitely going to see a different company several months from now than we have right now.
Yep.
I still say, if you're planning on going to Disney, I would, by fall, you should be fine. Late summer, early fall, I think you're going to be okay. I think they'll have stuff figured out by then. They'll have a plan. I mean, part of it might be they just don't have a plan. It came up so suddenly they don't have a plan for this outside of the 2 weeks, and that's why we're not hearing anything else. It could be because they're formulating their plans. We could get the silver lining of they'll take the downtime to fix things. Who knows?
Yeah, that's the one good thing that might come out of this when it blows through. They need to have like a crisis piggy bank, you know, for something like this to happen, that if the company needs to go down for a couple months, they've got the money in, you know, liquid funds that they can dip into to pay the bills.
Well, they did.
Then they bought Fox.
But, you know, it could be a blessing in disguise. It could be, you know, they could use this time, if they're allowed to have the crews in there. I don't know. They might consider that too dangerous. To fix some of the things they can't fix, because with the park running all the time, it's hard to do that. Well, there's no guests there. It'd be a lot easier to make repairs and to do some, you know, do some things. So that could be a blessing in disguise at the end of the day.
So I'm just thinking, Defunct Land will have a video. All of Disney World. Oh my gosh,
Defunct Land's gonna feel
Defunct Land. All of Disney is now on Defunct Land. Every ride, everything. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants. Make sure you check the YouTube homepage. Make sure you follow us on Twitter or follow us on Facebook so you get notified if there are more videos than what YouTube thinks we should make.
Over the next bit, it's very likely there will be.
Yeah, we'll probably have 3 or 4 videos a day, every day, for God knows how long.
Yeah, so.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.